Hey gut feelers, in this video we're going to cover the 5 best healthy sugar substitutes as well as 3 of the most toxic sugar alternatives that are hyped at the moment and that are really bad for you, and I wouldn't recommend that. Sounds like a good idea? Then hit that like button right now and let me know that you want more of this type of video. Let's get started with number 1. I'm often asked about this one. There's a lot of confusion about it, and I remember that the first time I tried this, somebody said like, yes, it's good for you, try it, it's super healthy and it's sweet, and I'm like, the taste was pretty dominant. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not my favorite, but I have clients who really like that plant. It's a plant, and you maybe know already what I'm talking about. It's pure stevia powder. So stevia is a plant and you harvest the leaf. Now there's a big difference, and I want you to make sure that you're not eating anything unhealthy. Big difference between the white stevia extract that you're buying and the green real powder. The green real powder is recommendable. This one is not, which we'll come back to when we talk about the most toxic things in the end. So make sure it's a green pure stevia, just the powdered leaves, if you want to try it out. I've got clients who really love it. I don't. Number 2, antiviral, antibacterial, the optimal soul balm, super healthy for your liver. For me, really, this is the essence of sunshine. What am I talking about? I'm talking about raw, unfiltered honey. Now, that's one of my favorite sugar alternatives, really healthy, especially if it's raw and unfiltered. If you're a vegan, you're saying like, oh, I don't want to eat that, I don't want to violate the bees and stuff like that, totally understand it. All of the other 4, including the first one, are vegan. So let's move on to number 3. Number 3 is probably way too obvious for you if you are a seasoned gut feeler here on the channel, and those are fruits. Fruits are one of the best sugar substitutes, sugar alternatives. They have healthy glucose, which is important for your nervous system and for your brain to function, also to heal, to increase your healing potential. Loaded with vitamins and trace minerals and phytochemicals, all antiviral, antibacterial. I remember that just a week ago I made a really nice soft cake, and just using bananas to sweeten it, and I fed it to also all the non-vegan friends, and they actually like it. It's a really nice treat for the afternoon to share, just making banana bread and just using bananas as a sweetener, for example. 4th on the list, this is honestly a little bit like a luxury sweetener, at least for me, because it's a little bit more pricey, and it reminds me of autumn, you know, of the leaves falling down, of autumn, the colors are changing from the seasons. And also this sweetener has often, depending on which grade you're using, has a very caramelly sweetener, so it actually comes with its own flavor, which sometimes can be cool if you like it, and that's maple syrup. Maple syrup is a natural product, and it's very good also for your liver and for your nervous system, and also medical medium. This is one of medical medium's favorite sweeteners as well, if you're following Anthony William. And last but not least, and this is really, we could have included that in the fruit part, but I wanted to make a separate category for number 5, because it's often, you can often buy it already in organic stores, and that's date paste, or just dried dates. Make sure it's the unprocessed one, it's just blended up dates. Also comes with a ton of phytochemicals and minerals like potassium, really good for your nervous system. Rinse and repeat, and it's a healthy sugar alternative. Now, before we come to the most toxic alternatives that are hyped at the moment, everybody tells you, oh, this is really healthy and no calories and stuff like that. Before we come to this, you really need to avoid this. I want to know from you, let me know, 3 seconds now in the comments below, which is your favorite healthy sugar alternative at the moment? What are you using the most? Let me know in the comments below, just one word, or hi Peggy, and then the word is perfect, and I love to know from you. 3 terrible sugar mistakes, sugar substitute mistakes that are actually worse than refined white sugar. They're actually damaging your body more, and you pay the price just like you do if you always buy on a credit card and you don't have a backup account. Number 1, question for you: what is the most often used sweetener in America and in the US in particular that is highly toxic and that is almost in every, apart from normal sugar, that is almost every cereal, in every jam, and even in bread and ketchup and things like that. What's it? you know? It's like 4 words. 4 words. High fructose corn syrup. Really, really avoid high fructose corn syrup by any means. Comes from corn, is not healthy, highly inflammatory, highly processed, most often, like 99% GMO, irritates your nervous system. Your body goes into irritation. It's not a natural food. Get away from that. One of the best ways to get diabetes is eating high fat and high fructose corn syrup altogether. Second most toxic one. I remember living up there in Scotland in this intentional community where I lived for 3 years, and we were having twice per day, we were having tea break in between the garden shifts where I worked. And I remember that there was one thing, like one white granular powder, almost looks like sugar, but it wasn't sugar, that everybody was craving about, like raving about, and we all had it. And I was actually so hooked on it, I put it in everything, smoothies, soups, just anywhere, everywhere. And I was completely hooked on it, and people were saying, oh, it's so healthy, and it's not a sugar, it's good for your teeth even. You know what this one was? It was xylitol. I was like, oh, okay, it comes from birch tree, you know, natural product. There's nothing natural about anything that ends with ol. So like erythritol, xylitol, maltitol, these are all sugar alcohols. And I really changed my mind with this, because when I look back now, I noticed that my allergies went up. I had headaches, which I usually never had. I had a little bit of brain fog, and I think it had really much to do with the sugar alcohol that I was consuming. The reason why they are so problematic is because they are not a natural food at all. Nowhere are they occurring in nature, nowhere. This is always a processed food. It's very inflammatory for your system, and especially for your liver. Alcohol in general is very toxic for your liver, but sugar alcohols are not better. So stay away from anything that ends with yol. Okay, last but not least, number 3. This should really be obvious. I'm just mentioning it here. Third one is do you know? Artificial sugars and artificial flavors, artificial sweeteners. Stay away from them. 100%. Eat normal sugar, or don't eat sugar, but don't do anything artificial. They are chemicals. They have nothing to do with nature. They inflame your nervous system. Your body reacts to them like something, like a poison. Basically, you pay back so much. It also really causes digestive issues, massive, and weakens your liver. It's very stressful for the body, adrenal weaknesses. So stay away from artificial flavors and sweeteners. And if you haven't done it yet, you know what you should do, right? You should let me know in the comments below now your favorite healthy sugar alternative, sugar substitute right now at the moment. What are you eating the most?